On today's episode of Locked On Cubs, we discuss a beautiful 3-2 win in the city of Baltimore. We're going to do Matt and I's famous, but only the second time on the show, best and worst of the week. And then we're going to take some questions and talk a little bit about everything. So enjoy.
Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. Pleased to be with you for a Friday edition of the program. Thanks to all the listeners checking us out today, whether it's on all audio platforms and or YouTube. The Cubs are having a nice week as they edge out the Orioles 3-2 in Baltimore. A lot of good things from this game, Sam. It was a close game throughout. And the Cubs pull out a close one in Camden Yards.
Yeah, only reason I don't have the broom out is it technically was a split because this was a makeup from a game earlier in the year that the Cubs lost convincingly. Great win today. 3 solo home runs, 2 by Contreras, 1 by friend of the show, Rafael Ortega. And just another phenomenal pitching performance by Adrian Sampson. The bullpen comes in. Got to give Ross a little bit of credit today. I think it's well-deserved. I thought he got Sampson out at the right time. I thought he got Sean Newcomb out at the right time. He brought in Ullman. He brought in Brandon Hughes. Those guys did an outstanding job. And honestly, a really impressive win because these 8 out of 12 had come against teams that aren't fighting. The Orioles are in the thick of the playoff hunt. This is a bad loss for a surging Baltimore Oriole ball club, and it was at the hands of the Chicago Cubs. And Franmil Reyes continues to hit with 2 more base hits today. I believe one of them. It's going to be
You mean Manny Ramirez?
Yeah, and I believe one of those was of the extra base variety. And I picked him up on my fantasy team, and that's flourishing. Good stuff. Good day off for Suzuki today. He needed it. The only thing I don't love is that Ross said that Hoerner's due for a day off. I was hoping he'd get one today so he could play in all 3 games against the Milwaukee you-know-who's.
Yeah.
Because I want to see him at Wrigley Field. That's a young star shortstop.
Yeah, you'd like to see him play against a rival, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
But a good win. Nice to see Contreras get going. He had been in a little bit of a funk. He had an Apple homer to right, and then boy, you have to hit the ball well to get it out of straight left in Camden Yards. They extended that thing way. Hoerner hit a ball today that last year would have been out of there, but they extended this fence. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is a little comical. A little bit more numbers here. So Contreras and Ortega combined for the 3 Jacksons there. Happ 2 hits, including a double. Velasquez with a hit and a stolen base. Franmil has a hit in each of his first 8 games with the Cubs. He's hitting a blistering 382 overall in the blue and red. And Sampson pitches into the 6th inning, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. And I know we were joking on the phone earlier, Sam, that Rick Sutcliffe said. By the way, my Uncle Mike texted into the show. He has enjoyed Rick Sutcliffe all week. My Uncle Mike has a Cubs World Series tattoo on his arm.
Shout out Michael J. Cozy.
Yeah.
That's Cozy, by the way, for those listening at home, not Kazi.
Sutcliffe was saying that he inferred that Sampson was going to get a big payday this offseason.
Well, no, I don't even think he was inferring that. I think he was just saying he just was acting like his life was changing because I don't know. Listen, Sutcliffe's been great, man. I mean,
he's been fantastic.
I understand people don't love the fact that he makes these big, large conclusions up everything, but it makes me laugh. It makes me feel like the game's important. Today, also, he went on a rant about how Ullman has the best fastball on the team.
That's wild.
It's just fun. It's fun to have a guy that cares. It makes Boog have to care more. And he made me laugh. I'll tell you, I was laughing a lot when they got that double play off the bat of last year's All-Star center fielder Cedric Mullins. I was, you felt like it was a playoff game. So get it, throw it to second. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
It's funny.
When the Cubs get to Sloan Park in March 2023, considering that Sampson has had really a solid 2022 campaign throughout, what is he going to compete for when they get to the next camp?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he would be on that long list of names of starters, but even if they play a little musical chairs, maybe the Cubs have a couple guys where they could. It's not that they're reinventing bullpens, but they certainly have some unique options, because Sampson for 2 or 3 innings as a piggyback for somebody could be interesting.
He's played himself into something.
He brings value.
Yeah, the guy's pitched well enough to where he deserves something. You know what I mean? He deserves something.
ERA in the 3s.
Yeah, I'm pulling. I just want to, before I saw the stats before the game. I wonder if they have it included. Going into the start today, he was at 3.51. That's going to improve. He's been awesome.
He has. He's been really good,
and he competes out there. And this combination of Stroman, Steele, Thompson, Smiley, and Sampson has by far been the best 5 that they've run out there in terms of success and consistency.
Yeah, the second half has been
a
joy to watch.
Their pitching their starting pitching is a top 5-6 unit in the game of baseball.
And Ullman has pitched in a couple more high leverage spots recently.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Right?
Yeah, and he's quietly posted a nice 11, 12 innings here.
Yeah, he's intriguing. He's got, he's 93 to 96 with heavy sink, gets a lot of ground balls. Those guys are really valuable out of the pen when you bring them into a dirty inning, first and second, 1 out, bases loaded, 1 out. You just get that ground ball and get out of the inning. It gets a lot of grounders. That's what this is about. Sampling guys, seeing if there's any guys that are intriguing.
Brandon Hughes, first career save.
Yeah, Brandon Hughes has been good. Remember he kind of lit the world on fire with his debut. He struck out every Pirate he faced, and then hit a little rough patch. Now he's been good. So there's the one thing I'm not worried about going into next year is Hoyer's proven he could figure out how to build a productive bullpen. They'll find guys. They'll piece together guys.
And what's your feeling on Cubs Brewers?
I don't like Milwaukee.
Right.
I'm looking for a comeback outing from Keegan Thompson. I thought his last 2 outings, he hasn't been sharp at all, even though one of them had good results. I want to see him miss bats. It's not a good Brewer lineup. They're not great. They hit the ball out of the park. I don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. Hopefully cool and blowing in so he could just shove.
That'd be great. That'd be great. All right. Well, we'll watch for that this weekend at Wrigley. That's 3 straight 120 ball games.
And I don't like Milwaukee.
And the Cubs are 15-10 in the second half. It's been they've won games they should, certainly, but you're supposed to do what you need to, and they've
done a good job.
That. Yeah, Cubs Brewers since 2017, 2018.
I don't like those guys.
It's really heated up.
I don't. And if there's a benches clearing brawl,
you'll be on your feet, right?
You might see me in it.
You're gonna get in the car and go down there.
I might take the drive, get off at Addison, and you might see me.
I love it. All right, next is best and worst of the week. It's been mostly a good week for the Cubs, so it should be interesting as we continue to dip our toe into the analysis pool next. Most of us have overworked livers, but now it's easy to rejuvenate your liver health and reignite your metabolism thanks to Liver Health Formula by Pure Health Research. As a listener to our show, you can try Liver Health Formula risk-free today and get a free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Curb Fit is a safe and all-natural appetite suppressant, making it easy to say no to naughty foods. This makes it the perfect complement to Liver Health Formula. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB to learn more. That's getliverhelp.com/MLB to try Liver Health Formula completely risk-free and claim your free bottle of Curb Fit with your order. Go to getliverhelp.com/MLB now to get started. And we get started with best and worst of the week here on a Friday
You go.
edition of Locked On Cubs.
I want you to go first, so I don't want to take any of your thunder because I have a few. I could go a couple different directions. As Matt takes a sip of water.
You go, we go. What am I, Dexter Fowler? Yeah, I'm a little dehydrated.
Are you?
Best and worst of the week. Boy, do I love watching Mississippi native Justin Steele pitch.
You know, I went on a kick. I've been on a kick for about 5 days where I've drinking nothing but water. I don't feel any different. Go ahead.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. But not returning to pop yet, right?
I haven't had a sip of pop since the Jimmy Carter administration.
Another historical reference. Okay,
that didn't go well.
Get the bingo card out. Steele went 6 more innings without allowing an earned run on Tuesday night. I have the second half updated numbers, Sam, on Steele. 25 in a third innings, 26 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 walks, 32 strikeouts for a 1.07 ERA. That's Justin Steele.
And full credit to you. Even before we took over the show, you were always a Justin Steele fan. You've been a Justin Steele fan and a PJ Higgins fan. Both those guys are flourishing, and I wish you a mazel tov.
I've been a fan of those guys since the 90s.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't make sense.
You want me to give the worst of the week as well?
And speaking, it doesn't make sense. Neither did the Jimmy Carter joke. Yes, please.
Right. I'm going to have to say the play of Zach McKinstry at third base.
Man, I had that on my list.
He has proven he's not an everyday third baseman, if a third baseman even at all. And if he's not a third baseman,
what's his value?
Then he's likely going to have a slim future with this team.
Boy, that play that he made the 9th inning. I listened to most of today's ball game, and I'm going to talk about that later on. But when I had that on, and I removed a couple of things in front of me and threw them. Yeah, had plenty of time. And
even the routine plays that he makes, the throws are low. The throws are wide. Like, he fields it cleanly, just like he did today, but it was just a bad throw.
Right.
He's having some issues throwing it across the diamond. So, he had a good week last week at the plate, not so much this time. So that was one thing that in that trade with the Dodgers, you knew McKinstry was going to get at bats. And so you would have liked to seen him break out at the big league level. Where he plays was a little bit up in the air, but right now it looks a little murky. I mean, we don't want to overreact too much to the last few games, but the fact is especially as you've brought up a lot, if it is a McKinstry, versus Madrigal or McKinstry versus whoever, I do wonder what kind of role he has. So we'll see how he, plays these last 40 games, but he's definitely struggled this week. What do you got?
So I don't want to. I'm going to do a different one, but just the defense overall this week was not great. Not even just McKinstry. Higgins had a bad play at first, and so that frustrated me. But my best of the week is going to be Franmil.
Yeah,
I mean, it deserves a second mention. It's been really fun.
This is one of the best hitters in the whole league last week.
Yeah, so that's easy. That doesn't need much explanation. The worst of the week for me is going to be Christopher Morel, who really is in that same funk he was in about a month and a half ago, where the at-bats are just eye-openingly bad, taking a lot of called thirds, guessing wrong. I think in his defense, this is probably the most high-level baseball he's played. I mean, we're getting into August. He's been on the team for a while now. I'd like to see him finish out with one more hot streak to feel good going into next season. But just, it's one thing to struggle. Everyone does. It's just that the quality at bats and the strikeouts again are climbing. So that would be my worst of the week. But, he's young. Wasn't even supposed to be here. I'll tell you, I was listening to the radio today, Matt. Nelson Velasquez had a single up the middle.
Yeah.
Man, did that sound different?
Yes.
When you could hear it, you hear that sound. When I was listening to at the time, unfortunately, it was Zaidman and Coomer and not Pat. But man, it sounded like there was a bullet. I mean, just poof. He's got that type of swing.
Yeah, the crack of the bat is definitely at times an indicator of contact for sure.
Right.
One of the joys of the wood bat.
Well, I'm excited. I have some stuff to share with you, and I'm interested to hear your response to this. It's a good trivia question for those at home. We'll get to it.
Okay, that sounds good. I thought I had another note here. My other note, Sam, was about prospects lists. Did you see that there was a couple other ones released today?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. My neighbors, the ones I told you about, are making a lot of noise. And
are they really?
And it feels like a gang of bears is above me. And I'm not talking about the football team that starts in 20 minutes.
I was going to say, is Justin Fields up there?
No, I didn't see anything about prospect stuff. I just dove into 9 innings of baseball today. That's all.
I'm just a little annoyed that every list is different.
Yeah, right.
I guess it's okay. Like, it provides variety. But
what was the standout difference that you saw that bothered you today?
Marquis put one out today, and it was very
I don't care what Marquis
very data driven. Yeah, not saying I dislike it, but there's a list for everything now.
Marquis puts it out. I'm putting it in the trash.
Well, they do some good things.
Yeah, right. No, they do. I'm joking.
All right. I've been looking forward to that trivia question. First, we're going to tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including all things baseball, especially as both the AL and NL wildcard races heat up. Head to BetOnline.net or download the app to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
I was listening to the ball game today for about an hour on the radio, which is one of the most peaceful, therapeutic.
What are the great pleasures of life?
Experiences. Let me tell you, if you suffer at all while you're watching from stress or something, and you're in the middle of work and the Cubs are on, take a 30-minute drive if the game's somewhat close and listen to Pat Hughes call a game. Come back and tell me you don't feel marginally better. Just try it.
Yeah, roll the windows down.
Yeah, roll the windows down and turn it up, and really don't just listen to the game too. Listen to everything he says, every syllable.
You got a trail system near your home. Step out, take a walk, put in the headphones, go to the Odyssey app. You could listen that way as well.
6 players in Major League history have 12 walk-off home runs. And this does not include the postseason, or else one of these guys would be at 13. The names are Pujols, Frank Robinson, Babe Ruth, Stan Musial, Mickey Mantle, and Jimmy Fox. 6 great names. Do you know who has the most ever at 13? He's an Illinois native.
Most walk-off home runs?
Yeah, he played during our time.
Jim Thome.
That's correct.
Wow.
Wait a second. How'd you know that?
Illinois native. I think I heard Illinois native. I heard power. That was it.
You know what? Folks, I swear on everything.
Jim Thome, dude.
I know it. Let me tell you something.
Come on, bro.
I swear on everything. We did not go over that before the show.
You said I wasn't going to get it.
I didn't think you had a chance because I had no idea.
Somewhere in my weird brain, because I followed this game since I was 6, I knew Jim Thome was from Illinois. I knew he was not our era. I knew he hit a lot of home runs.
I am really floored. Tell me what you want to talk about next, please. I mean, that is, one of these days we'll do a clip of top moments on this show. That's in the top 3 right there.
Who's going to produce that?
As the Cubs continue to stay hot.
You might have to refill that thing.
Yeah, I haven't touched it in about 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
There's mold growing in there. There's a base hit by Madrigal.
All right, well, it'd be nice to see the Cubs win 2 out of 3 this weekend against their rival, Joe Girardi is going to make it a 3-man booth this weekend for Marquee.
Interesting.
Pat Hughes. Oh, no, I think Pat Hughes is in the booth this week. Next week, I think he's away for a few games. But a lot of rotation of the media members coming up down the stretch here. 3-1-20 starts against Milwaukee, and we'll see if the Cubs could continue their hot second half.
And we wanted to do a question, right?
Oh, we could do a question.
Yeah, just one question.
Let me see here.
Just one. And whoever asked about the Sosa question, you said that was Eric. We're going to get to that,
Yeah.
Eric. We're going to get to that. That's the Sosa conversation is going to be its own show. I don't want to just gloss over it into a 5-minute thing. We're going to have an entire show dedicated to why it's absolutely bonkers that Sammy Sosa isn't a part of this Cubs organization, because the first, 120 Cubs games I went to from age 4 to about 10, he was the only reason all 40,000 people were going. And I don't want to get too much on my soapbox, so I'll save it. But don't think that we ignored you, Eric. We don't ignore anybody on our show.
Yeah, no, it was really cool to hear his voice too, because he left. It was a voicemail. So, yeah, we're gonna get to it. Let's go to Paul in Lincoln Square here on Locked On Cubs. He says, guys, love the show. You're killing it. Have a topic for you. Cubs signed Michael Conforto this offseason to a 1-year pillow contract, perfect lefty bat, to man center field until PCA or Brennan Davis are ready, and possible flip candidate next summer. Thanks for the show, Paul in Lincoln Square.
First thing I'm going to do before I answer this question, and it's not a question at all, so I don't know why I said it. It's more of a comment that he wasn't asking me really that much, which is totally fine. Is I'm not familiar with Michael Conforto, the defender, so I know the bat. I know the bat. I want to look at the glove here.
I love that you value defense.
It feels like he's more of an out. Like, can he play center at a high level? I don't know the answer to that question. The answer is if
he hasn't played for so long, by the way.
If he's an upgrade defensively in center field, then I think it's a pretty intriguing move, because he could hit the ball out of the ballpark. You sign him to a 1-year deal, you could flip him, etc. I think it's a creative idea. They need help out there. They need a better defensive center fielder. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know Michael Conforto, the defender. I think of him more as a corner outfielder, and just looking at it, it looks like he just plays all 3 of them. So I don't know.
Can you get by with it for a half season?
Yeah. I mean, listen, he's most likely better than what we have at defensively in center field, because right now it's slim pickings.
Right. Michael Hermosillo was found today, by the way.
Yeah, I heard they found him, and he's doing a little rehab in Arizona. And for those that didn't listen to our old show, before the year, I had 2 picks. I said, here's 2 guys that
Why?
There's not a lot of people that you guys will know. Here's 2 guys to keep an eye on for the Cubs this year. I nailed one of them. I said Scott Efros, and unfortunately, I said Michael Hermosillo, who I did not nail.
Right. One was traded and one was a missing person for a while.
Yeah, but one was traded because he was good.
True.
The other one's a missing person because the last time he connected with a ball was, the Reagan administration.
Fun Friday show. Be sure to hit subscribe for Locked On Cubs on YouTube and smash the like button and all your favorite Locked On Cubs content. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And remember, you could be like Paul in Lincoln Square and drop us a text, 312-834-4634. I love giving out that phone number. Thanks for making Locked On Cubs your first listen every day. Now make your second listen the Locked On MLB podcast. Paul Francis Sullivan brings humor, passion, unique perspective on every team and the biggest stories around the league. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.